This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Developed all these great acting skills, improv skills, Chris, but we also know that WWE is notorious for scripted promos. I'm assuming they gave you a lot of flexibility, did they, at that point, since you were so good at improvisation?
Well, when I started the Shawn program, Shawn and I and Brian Gewirtz, another guy that Kurt worked with so well, basically created that program with Michael Hayes. We would get in there every week and we would come up with a couple of weeks. It's the first time I've ever done this, because usually you're waiting on Sunday night. Hey, Ed Koski, what am I doing tomorrow? Well, here's what we have. Shawn and I were like, we can't do that. We need to plan this ahead. So we had it planned ahead. And I think once Vince saw that, that's when he was like, oh, this is good. I always, obviously Shawn was his guy at that point. But I think a lot like Shawn, it took Shawn a while for him to get there, and it took me a while to get there too. But once I was there, once you get Vince's trust and respect, you still have to talk to him, and you still have to convince him sometimes or tell him your mindset. But it made things a completely different thing. No more written promos. I'm writing them, and Vince still has to approve them. But at least I'm the one who's in control.
You have control. There you go.
Yeah. You still have to fucking get everything approved. Still have a script, but at least I'm writing the script.
There you go. You have a little bit of control.
Yes.
I got to ask, the last run in WWE, the way it ended, did it sour you on WWE?
Yes. And I'll tell you the reason why. I mentioned it before. I was working with Kevin Owens, who was another guy like I said with Shawn or with, I mentioned Eddie Kingston, where we just had a brief promo in London. And I remember thinking, this guy's pretty funny. Like, he's got a really good sense of humor. He doesn't look like much because I didn't really know him, but he gets it, And then I saw him work and I was like, well, he's a fucking great worker too.
Yes.
We did something in London where it was just a random pairing or whatever it was. And I walked out of the ring, and just as we were getting up to the top of the ramp, I said, I'm the GOAT. Cause I used GOAT before anybody else, by the way. I remember I put GOAT on the back of my trunks because I heard it in a rap song, and Vince asked me, what does that mean? I said, it means greatest of all time. He goes, well, that's terrible. He goes, GOAT? I know. I said, I know. I wish it was Rhino or Moose or something, but I said, it's a street thing. Can I just use it? He said, fine, but don't ever say greatest of all time. Just say GOAT and leave it at that. And now everyone's the GOAT. There's 10,000 GOATs. All three of us are GOATs.
Yes, there is.
Anyways,
followed.
Yeah. I said, I'm the GOAT. And Kevin just kind of faintly said, and I'm the donkey. And he has that French accent. And I was like, that's fucking really funny that he just came up with that on the time. So we started this amazing angle where we came aligned, and this was in August. And I remember saying to Vince, I think we could take this to Mania. He goes, well, that's a long time, Chris. It was actually June. And I said, yeah, but there's chemistry. There's a long way to go. He said, well, let's play it by ear. And lo and behold, we made it to Mania. But it bummed me out because we had such a great story and one of the greatest turns of all time in the Festival of Friendship that nobody saw coming. And like I said, Vince was so into it. He said, we're going to put you guys on as the main event. WrestleMania is one or two events. This was still only one night of WrestleMania. You guys will be the main event of WrestleMania for the title because Kevin was the champ and you're going to win the title. I was like, that's fucking cool. And the reason why I thought it was cool is because the story was there. It was the right thing to do. When he changed it to Brock and Goldberg, I was disappointed. But once again, what am I going to do? It is what it is. But what really bummed me out is they put us on second.
Wow.
And as Kurt will tell you, second it's a death spot.
You don't want to be there. Yeah.
You don't want to be there. You couldn't put us on first. You couldn't put us on semi-main event. If you wanted us to be the world title match, then give us the spot. And if you can't go last, the best place to go is first.
First.
And
Yeah.
if for some reason first doesn't work, then semi-main event. There you go. Those are your three spots. First, second to last. And to go on second is a real slap in the face. It really is. And it might seem like, oh, what do you mean, Chris? If you look at any card, second is a hard spot to be in. Yeah. And more importantly, he sent me a message. And that's where I was like, I don't see what else I could do. I felt the same way when I left WCW. I had this great program with Goldberg, the story that I came up with, and everybody was into it. And Bischoff didn't want to do it, and Goldberg didn't want to do it. And I was like, well, if I'm not going to go with this, they're probably not going to go with anything else that I can think of. And I felt the same with the Kevin thing. I can't go any higher than this. And if Vince sees me as a second match guy, then that's where I'll be for the rest of my career. I need to split. And that's what I did. So it was disappointing for me. Once again, not bitter, not angry, no problems. But it was disappointing. But as I've always done, if I don't feel that it's the right place to be, I leave.
Right.
That's the way to do it. And that's what I did.
Well, Chris, you have done something that many never thought could be done.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.